It's our Cowboys Corner San Antonio Sports Star podcast. I'm Karl Schoening. He's Rudy J. The Cowboys have the Falcons this weekend. Atlanta started off a little rocky. They've worked their way back to 500. Dallas trying to bounce back from a loss to the Broncos. And, Rudy, quite frankly, that was an embarrassing loss. They made it look respectable at the end of the day, but 30-0 with about 5 minutes left to go in the fourth. That's a beatdown, even if it did seem a little more respectable with the final score 30-18. How do you see the Cowboys bouncing back against these Falcons?
In talking with Coach McCarthy this morning, the thing I think they went back to is just actually, working on the things that they didn't look good on, which was the offensive line. Again, Terrence Steele, being a left tackle for the first time ever. He's got another week of practice under his belt. Being more physical, because that's one thing Vic Fangio from the Denver Broncos said they weren't that physical. So probably try to be more physical and just do what they do and get going offensively, get Zeke going. They're a better team when Zeke plays well. If you look, Tampa game, Zeke didn't really play well. They lose that game. Zeke doesn't play well against the Broncos. They lose that game. But the one consistent thing that the good teams do is they don't lose two in a row. They lost to Tampa, won 6 in a row. So I expect them to bounce back this week, at least have a better game.
No Randy Gregory. He's on the injured reserve with a calf. He'll be gone at least 3 games. Those can be 6 to 8 weeks sometimes. Greg Zuerlein placed in COVID protocols. So they're dealing with 2 key players, one on their defense, another on their special teams, that are out. And quite frankly, that is kind of catching them by surprise. I think Wednesday and Thursday when both of those things happen. What do you think that maybe changes the dynamic of what they try to do against the Falcons?
Micah Parsons is going to play a factor in that. We asked Coach McCarthy about that because the last time when DeMarcus Lawrence first went down, we saw Micah Parsons do some lineup at the defensive end spot. We asked him would he do that. He didn't really give us anything, but I would suspect Micah Parsons will be lined up on the edge and doing some rushing. Now, in the kicking game, you're asking a guy that's been on the couch to come in and possibly have to win a game for you. Now, I'm hoping the football gods bless us with that situation where this kicker that comes in off the couch has to come in and try and win a game for you at the buzzer.
Introduce some drama.
It's only right that they get with it that it comes down to that. But they got their hands full. Atlanta, while, again, they're not the Rams, they're not Tampa. They play hard. They're not really getting blown out, and they're coming off of a really good win against the Saints. So as far as what they have to do in those missing areas, it's going to be Micah Parsons, and you got to make the kicks. Now Zuerlein, Greg the Leg, he's missed quite a few kicks this year, but he's made them win the crunch time, the 56-yarder to win. I think he also has a 60-yarder. So they got their hands full this Sunday.
The Cowboys win if what happens? What are their keys?
The Cowboys win if they create a turnover or 2, they get Zeke going, and Dak, hopefully all that rust is off. Dak was a little rusty, a little bit rusty. He's getting Michael Gallup back. Cedric Wilson's out. But as McCarthy told us today, Gallup is their best receiver in traffic. So, there's a reason why they didn't trade him, even though he's coming into his free agent season, and Cedric Wilson's played so well. A lot of people speculated maybe they moved Gallup. But, when you hear McCarthy say things like that, you're like, oh, that's why you didn't. So, create turnovers, and Dak gets that rust off, and they open up those lanes for Zeke. They win.
Yeah, not to make excuses for Dak, but he was off during the bye week as he was injured with the calf, so he probably didn't do too much practice then. And then he also didn't play the following week. So the Broncos game was his first game, and he did. Maybe that's why they kept him in the fourth quarter, because a lot of people were saying, why do you have your starters out there? So maybe he can shake off, like you said, I think on R&R, something along the lines of you don't leave a basketball court on a missed shot. And so he got to see him go in the end zone. So there you go. That was the positive, them being out there. And we'll see if maybe that momentum of those, I think it was 18 points they scored in the final 4 minutes of a game that was basically decided already, can maybe carry them into this Falcons game.
Yeah, again, but they're going to have to protect that, Mike McCarthy says still has another week of work. We'll see. Sometimes, people kind of expose some things. It'd be interesting to see what Atlanta saw on the film from the Denver game that they use. If there was anything there at all, or is it just a one-off? I don't know. We're gonna see, but I'm excited for it, man. New and those new kickoffs are weird. That's kind of early. It's weird, but at least you're at home.
If there is one thing that maybe the Broncos saw was I think the Falcons saw from the Broncos was that they established their run game early and then that opened things up for the
Bingo.
pass. So maybe that's the key to getting some points on this
If
Dallas
there's a
defense.
weakness, it's their run defense.
Alrighty. Well, hey, once again, the kickoff is at noon. I'm Karl Schoening. He's Rudy J. We're on R&R in the morning, 7 to 10, Monday through Fridays here on San Antonio Sports Star. This has been Cowboys Corner on San Antonio Sports Star social media pages.